what I call Chantay's Analysis. You can look at it on Instagram weeknights, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. Um, I also have a YouTube page where you can just find me as Chantay Berry. You can subscribe, like this video, like the video on YouTube. So here we are. I'm just going to get into COVID. I'm only going to focus on global numbers and just individually on the states. So globally, we are at 30,919,638 cases of COVID-19, with the global death toll at 959,332. At home in the U.S., we account for a fifth of those cases. Yeah. So we are at 6,799,141. So we're at almost 7 million. We are at 6.8 pretty much, but we're hitting that toll. And our death toll, they said we're nearing 200,000. According to MSNBC, they reported 200,000 deaths, but technically we are at 199,474. Tomorrow we'll hit 200,000 deaths. I said either, if not Saturday or today, definitely on Monday, right? So that's where we are in terms of the U.S. number. So tomorrow I'll wake up to 6.8, and then I probably will wake up to 200,000 deaths. Now I'm going to focus on the New York Times COVID map as of 8:25 Eastern Standard Time. Okay, I'm looking for not cases the last 7 days. There we go. California is at 787,867. Damn. Texas, 722,460. Florida, 683,746. New York is 454,612. Georgia, 289,096. Illinois, 277,373. Arizona, 214,018. New Jersey, 201,553. North Carolina, 193,978. And Tennessee rounds up that top 10 with 180,621. Now, there are some other states with some high numbers too. Louisiana has 162,258. Pennsylvania has 154,924. Alabama has 144,962. Ohio shies away of 144,309. North Carolina 140,511, and South Carolina, which is not even a big state, has 137,708. So these numbers are alarming. They're not getting any better. You can subscribe to the New York Times COVID map for state numbers. And for the John Hopkins website, you can see all the global numbers. You can see even with the states, you only can see per county. If you want a full state analysis, that's where you could subscribe to the New York Times COVID map, and it's free. Because it's only free for the COVID map. So that's where we are in terms of COVID. And of course, we have no plan. I keep saying this every day because it's true. We have no plan. Not at all. Not one plan. So that being said, so as you know, what's her name? Lisa Murkowski is the second Republican senator to come out and say she will not vote for a Supreme Court vacancy, and I can read the statement to you guys. Lisa Murkowski. This is her statement. Lisa Murkowski is a Republican senator from Alaska. For weeks, I have stated that I will not support taking up a potential Supreme Court vacancy this close to the election. Sadly, what was then a hypothetical is now a reality, but my position has not changed. I did not support taking up a nomination 8 months before the 2016 election to fill to fill the vacancy created by the passing of Justice Scalia. We are now even closer to the 2020 election, less than 2 months out, and I believe the same standard must apply. Okay, that's fine. You didn't vote for a Supreme Court seat. You didn't even get a meeting with Merrick Garland. But you sure enough a year later put the most inexperienced, the most dumbest judge, Neil Gorsuch. Yeah, he saved the civil rights thing for LGBTQ, but he's not for the ACA. He's not for protecting women's rights. He doesn't give a fuck. Unless I'm wrong. Sure enough put his dumb ass on there. Then, yeah, you didn't put Brett Kavanaugh on there. You're the only Republican that did not vote with your party. But you voted a year or some change later, earlier this year, to acquit Donald Trump for abusing power and obstructing justice in his favor. You did that because you said it was not enough evidence. And don't get me started with Susan Collins. I'm saying both of their names, Susan Collins, because her statement is stupid too, because she said that that she doesn't want to fill the seat, but you voted for Brett Kavanaugh and Neil Gorsuch and voted to acquit Donald Trump. You guys are not to be trusted. Like, you're not. Chuck Grassley said he's not for it, but he's sure enough going to go along with what Trump said. That we know Lindsey Graham switched course. Can I just play? I want to play the thing that Lindsey Graham said. You know, let's play it if I find it. Hello. Because I got to find this video. I got to find it. Here we go.
I'm a conservative. Want conservative judges on the court. This may make you feel better, but I really don't care. If an opening comes in the last year of President Trump's term and the primary process is started, we'll wait till the next election. I want you to use my words against me.
You're on the record.
Yeah.
All right.
Hold the tape.
Lindsay must go and the Lincoln Project are responsible for the content of the...
But there's another video that he said that, you know, to hold, I think his words.
The president. And if Ted Cruz or Donald Trump get to be president, they've all asked us not to confirm or take up a selection by President Obama. So if a vacancy occurs in their last year of their first term, guess what? You will use their words against them. I want you to use my words against me. If there's a Republican president in 2016 and a vacancy occurs in the last year of the first term, you can say, Lindsey Graham said, let's let the next president, whoever it might be, make that nomination, and you could use my words against me, and you'd be absolutely right.
So, of course, he switched courses and say that Donald Trump is going to get that seat. He's not even giving Joe Biden the chance. Like I said, these Republican words don't mean shit. They go back on their words. They're complicit. And I always, and they haven't, honestly, they haven't been shit, honestly, really since like the late 50s, early 60s. They haven't been it. Yeah, Richard Nixon did some okay stuff during his administration, but he was a crook. A flat-out crook. Gerald Ford was dumb. And Ronald Reagan was just deplorable and racist. And the Bushes were stupid too. One didn't want it and one was just stupid. And they both listened to slick ass, evil ass Dick Cheney. Because Dick Cheney was the Secretary of State during Daddy Bush's administration, and he was the vice president to Junior Bush. Yeah, they both listened to Lindsey Graham. not Lindsey Graham, to Dick Cheney. They sure did. But back to Susan Collins and Lisa, I don't trust them. I don't trust them. I honestly don't trust the Republican Party to defend being institutionalist. I don't. The Democrats in the Senate don't really have that much power, but they're trying to do everything they can to filibuster. So, at this point, I don't know what's going to happen. But what I tweeted out today was extremely important because, this here means a lot. So let me just put this out real quick of what I said earlier today. Where is it? A suggestion for the Biden-Harris administration and the Democrats should do in 2021 is expand the Supreme Court of the United States justices from 9 to 15. You put a black woman and man, Latino woman and man, Asian woman and or man, Native American woman and man, and LGBT representation. The court should be what America looked like. Hey, Kenny, period. In order for this to happen, we need to vote Biden and Harris. Let's do this. And they should. I told my dad this earlier when he came down to see me. I said, Dad, the Supreme Court should not be 9 people. It should be 15. The courts need to be reformed. There should be representation. It's no excuse why so many old white people and just one older black token guy still sitting there making decisions for the rest of America. Absolutely, Kenny. This is insane. I don't understand. I'm trying to grasp the understanding of this. Why? Please help me. I need to know. But when we vote Biden and Harris, that should be. And what Joe Biden said today was give him that authority so he can put his Supreme Court justice on it. And it's going to be a black woman because that's what he wants. He already have a black woman as his VP. Let's get a black woman as our Supreme Court justice. Let's get a Hispanic male and another Latina on there. Let's get an actual black man that actually will fight for black people, not someone that has a black man seat and don't do shit for black people. Yes, I'm talking about Clarence Thomas, the bestiality dude. What else? Let's get a Native American male woman. Let's get an Asian person, an Asian woman or man. Let's get an LGBT person, either gay, lesbian, or transgender. We need representation. It's all these people it's all these people that is in law that are probably judges right now. And we don't know it. They're probably family court judges, criminal court judges. They're judges. And they should be on our Supreme Court. This is insane. This is fucking crazy. Yeah, because there's no Asian people on that court, and there's no Native Americans on that court. And the Native Americans are the real, actual Americans that were here first. And we should have somebody that's Asian, either Indian, either from Japan, either from China, either from Vietnam, either from Tibet. We need representation that looks like the American creed of the 21st century. We need it. It's no other words to describe it. We gotta have that. And that's just plain and damn simple. forgot what my other hashtag was, but with RBG, like I'm starting to learn more about her. I mean, I always knew about her, but like there's little things that you don't know about her. Like she fought for single dads, well, widowers that lost their wives. Like she was the ultimate progressive. I can't say jurisprudent. What should I say? She was the. Yeah, they love to tell immigrants to leave the country when white people are actually the thieves. That is so true. The Europeans, the colonizers. Yeah. The colonizers. Yeah. But back to the RBG. Like she was it. So putting someone that's the total opposite of RBG, it's it's like destroying the American judicial system. It is. And I respect her. She's a fellow New Yorker. She's from Brooklyn. You know, I'm not from Brooklyn, but there's a lot of Brooklynites in the Senate, no, in Congress, in government, really, and not government, period. But yeah, to not to have someone that's the total opposite of her, that's crazy. And I mean, gee, I still couldn't sleep right this whole entire weekend. Like I couldn't sleep right. I didn't sleep right because of what happened. Of her trying to hang on and then she couldn't hang on any longer. Like my words are like jumble. I couldn't even get my thoughts together to do this live last night because I was just like heartbroken. And to have people like Michael Harriot, which I'm gonna just read some of the shit that he had to say because it seems like, people still want our democracy to be in the. Yep, she was a very progressive Jewish person. And what my mom told me before I was born, when she first moved up here to New York before she met my dad, she said, a lot of the Jewish people, like Ruth, RBG, even though she, didn't invest in this, but they were treated like the other as well. Because there's a big Jewish population here in New York. And they went to settle out in Brooklyn to Eastern Parkway and bought up the Eastern Parkway because they were treated as the other and fought for black people, like a good portion of them. And she was one of the black people that fought, one of the Jewish people that fought for black people. But of course, there's Jews on the other side of me. Some of them, they're a little uptight, but the ones in the other boroughs, like in Brooklyn and the Bronx, they're mostly very progressive. So, yeah. But Michael Harriot, I'm just gonna find this and I'm just gonna read some of this. I ain't gonna read all of this because he be typing out his whole life on here like anybody cares. He said, first of all, anyone who says I didn't vote in 2016 or any state or local election since I turned 18 is a whole liar. My job has never been to advocate for a political party or group. Let me be clear. I am a partisan. I am beholden to one constituency, black people. After somebody said this to him, seeing how you didn't vote in 2016, wrote a whole ass article of I'm not voting with her because I'm petty. People really want to know what you think in this moment. He tweeted this in 2018, say, sorry, didn't vote for Hillary, didn't give a damn about her. Then he goes on, talks about this whole, didn't vote for her and they dared to understand whatever. And then he said reluctancy to stand up for black people. All this stupid shit, trying to be so woke. These Wookiees, I'm going to quote my good friend, Mr. Too Raw, Too Real. Because he had a whole sermon. I was in a nail salon getting my feet and nails done listening to him. And my nail tech was trying to talk to me. I was like, no, I'm listening to this. I got to listen to this shit. They're so want to do this purity test and say how they had these issue with black people, with Latinos, and this and that. Listen, every politician, no matter what side of the party they on, have baggage. It's called politics. Bernie Sanders is not the cleanest bunch out of them all. Bernie Sanders is part of the reason why Vermont has the third highest incarceration rate in the United States. And they don't even have that much black people. And I went to school in New England. Anything above Massachusetts is a whole bunch of white people. This much of black people. Like, this much. I know. I feel you. I felt that from you because I felt that. And with the crime bill, I was talking to my mom about the crime bill. There were some things I didn't agree with the crime bill, but I understand why it was needed. Prior to Bill Clinton, you had 12 years of Republican, I can't say Republican rule, but Republicans in power. You had Ronald Reagan from 1981 to 1989. Oh yeah, that's true. In Vermont. Because I went to school in Massachusetts and there was a whole bunch of black people and it was different from going northern Massachusetts all the way up to Maine. Yeah. Very different. But crime bill, like prior to that, you had 8 years of Ronald Reagan, 4 years of George H.W. Bush. They did not do nothing. I don't think George Bush met with the people from the Rodney King 1991 riots. But to tackle the crime that went on back in the 80s and early 90s, they didn't really do much. They didn't really care. They didn't give a damn. If you really want to get technical, they didn't give a shit. I grew up in Harlem, Harlem is northern Manhattan in New York City. So above 96th Street, like right 110, because we got number streets. For those who don't know, you can do your research. That's Harlem. Anything above, 110th Street. So I lived on this street called 116th Street. I lived on 5th Avenue, which is like, if you go down the Museum Ave, you go down the same avenue, it's all Donald Trump. Donald Trump's office is right down. I grew up like 20 minutes on the bus or 30 minutes on the bus or the train from Donald Trump's office. But there was crime. So my mom supported it because there was drug dealers in Harlem going into people's houses and basically kicking them out of their houses to sell drugs. That was the crack era. I was born during the crack era. I was a baby when all this stuff was going on. 86? That was the height of the crack epidemic. Even when I was 5 and 6 years old, there was still drugs. I couldn't go to certain places in my neighborhood because either somebody was selling drugs and it was a big bust and somebody wanted to get killed. Like, it was just that, you know? So it's just like the crime bill was needed. There was ramifications of it. A lot of people got incarcerated because it was dependent on the state that you lived in. But Biden knows he's righting all his wrongs. He knows, like, okay, the incarceration rate was high, but they did everything they can to basically release this man. People keep touting his First Step Act under Donald Trump. That act was introduced in 2015. But Mitch McConnell did not pass it because he didn't want anything passed under President Obama. So they passed it under Donald Trump. But it was only, 300 people that was released from that? And that lady that they keep saying was released under First Step Act, she was not released under the First Step Act. She was released because Kim Kardashian had a meeting with Donald Trump. So, with that being said, all these woke black people, like Michael Harriot, need to cut the shit because he probably voted for a Russian plant called Joe Stein. And it's not just him, it's Eddie Glade. It's Mark Lamont Hill that voted for her. Brianna Joy Gray, Nina Turner, all these woke black people voted for her. And I can't without leave the woke white people like Ryan Knight, Crystal Ball, those TYNT doodoo plants, all spoke negatively about Hillary and spoke so much of it and repeated the Russian lie that made people stayed home. Y'all gave Donald Trump so much free airtime that he should have paid for, honestly, to tell you the truth. Yeah, they all crackheads, Kenny. And you gave them so much airtime to the point where it was like, gave him so much airtime to the point where he actually became the resident of the White House, the People's House, on 16 Black Lives Matter Avenue, and no, 1600 Black Lives Matter Avenue, excuse me, and just continue to destroy everything with democracy, what the founding fathers stand for, even though they were racist too. But there was laws in place to make sure people like him don't fuck with the shit. We're literally in a crisis. Because of motherfuckers, these woke ass motherfuckers, we're facing 5 crises simultaneously. Global pandemic, which is resulting to an economic depression, economic recession that could lead to a depression, climate change, racial reckoning, this is the first phase, and now a constitutional crisis because the more progressive than these Wookiees has died that's on the Supreme Court, that's died. And we have a resident who don't give a fuck. Will do anything to stay in power. Not, finish his term, but to stay in power, and has a graphic where he's quote unquote president for life. This is what the fuck we're dealing with. And we have enablers like Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, Marco Rubio, Rand Paul, Lamar Alexander, the quote unquote good Republican that said no. He's going to vote for the Supreme Court vacancy. So we have enablers, and Jim Jordan and the House of Representatives and Matt Gaetz, deplorable asses, that will do anything to make sure Trump stays in power. This is what we're dealing with. This is what happens when these woke motherfuckers keep repeating the Russia lie. And they're trying to do it with Biden and Kamala. I got news for you. People actually like them. More so, they really love Kamala. And Joe is starting to look more stronger each and every day that he speaks. Yep, less than a year, 200,000 dead. By tomorrow, it's going to be a complete 200,000 dead when the Washington Post reported. We're almost 31 million cases around the world, according to the Johns Hopkins website. We're almost 6.8. Tomorrow we'll be at 6.8 million. We're getting 50,000 cases per day, as Dr. Fauci said. We have to hunker down. We're literally facing 5 crises, or if that's the plural, you say 5 bad situations all at the same time. And the resident at 1600 Black Lives Matter Avenue is golfing and holding massive rallies. People with no masks, basically killing them. This is what we're doing. And all these woke motherfuckers is saying like, oh, I don't want to vote for Biden and Harris. Let's vote for Howie Hawkins. Howie Hawkins have not met the deadline. In Pennsylvania, he's not going to be on the ballot. Because you know why? Because he didn't do the paperwork like he was fucking supposed to do. He didn't follow the guidelines, according to the Supreme Court in Pennsylvania. Kudos to the Supreme Court in Pennsylvania for not putting that motherfucker on the ballot to steal votes from Biden. Nope. No sorry, Bob. It ain't happening. But still, Donald Trump really like politicized the whole mask wearing thing, which it could save lives. I wear my mask. My masks are fashionable, so I wear the surgical mask when I go to the doctor. Sometimes I wear the surgical mask each and every. I switch up my mask. I make sure I buy masks, even though there was a report saying that we could have got free masks if the post office sent it, and I had to pay for no goddamn mask. I literally spend like damn near like close to $50, $60 on surgical masks. No, more than that. Shit, I almost spent $100 on some masks, or probably $100 on masks alone, and gloves too. And I gotta order another set of gloves and order another set of masks. I'm heated. I'm dumb tight. As the expression in New York, we say dumb tight or OD tight. I'm OD mad because I'm dumb mad that I gotta spend my money. Did I spend my money? Sorry to rant, but and I know I ain't got that much viewership, but I don't give a fuck. This is for my self gratification. I ain't trying to do this to gain clout. If you like my video, thank you very much. And if you don't, I don't know what to tell y'all. Don't watch. Just that simple. But I'm just here to let y'all know that it's important for us to be vigilant, do your research, stay abreast. You don't have to watch the news all day, every day, 24/7. I watch the news while I do my homework, while I'm applying for jobs, because I've been unemployed since middle of January. I've been living off my unemployment. And yes, I've been paying my rent. It's hard. And I live in New York City, one of the most expensive cities in this country. And I managed to save my money, which is good. And I managed to enroll back to get my master's degree, to actually finish it. Because I started in 2014 and took a 4-year hiatus from 2016 to like now. And once I was close to getting a job, pandemic happened. This situation is crazy. Like it's sad. I'm just like baffled. And these motherfuckers who said I don't give a damn about voting put us at a very bad standstill, facing five crises or 5 situations, however you say, at the same fucking time. I'm fucking mad. This is all bonkers. It's making me crazy. I feel like Kenny, but even though Kenny went off and screamed and was ready to fight, I mean, brother, I'm with you. Scarf, Vaseline, aerosol with some Nikes. What happened? I'm dumb tight. OD mad that we facing all of these situations because people wanted to sit their ass out and vote and repeat the Russian lie, the whole lie about Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton was my senator. She did more than Chuck Schumer have done for our city. Even though he does stuff, but Hillary Clinton did more. You saw Hillary Clinton more interacting with black and brown people in our city, per se, more than kind of like upstate. She interacted with more of the people in the city. Of course, my friends are like, why you support her? She was a good senator for our state. A good damn fucking senator. I did my research on Hillary. She didn't do nothing. You don't know what the fuck she have done. Crazy shit. I'm still hurt. Pissed. Mad. RBG's dead. My fellow New Yorker on the Supreme Court. And I gotta look at this nasty rat motherfucker every day on TV talking shit. Crazy shit. We wouldn't have to be in this situation, but we are. And Bernie Sanders' legacy, Bernie Sanders just popped up. He was a lazy. Let me just say this. Bernie is the establishment. Let's just make that very clear. Bernie is the establishment. Bernie has been in Congress for 30-something years. He only passed 7 bills, and out of 7 of those bills, 2 of them include renaming post offices. Whatever you want to say about Joe Biden, whatever you disagree with him or not, Joe Biden passed 44 bills. And that includes, of course, the Violence for Women Act and the crime bill. The crime bill that everybody hates, that black people supported. Both Democrat and Republicans supported, including an independent named Bernie Sanders. Also, Biden passed the Brady, I think, one of the Guns Protection Act, which Bernie Sanders voted down for that 5 times. I think it was the Brady Act, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Good call. Yeah. And it's no shade to Bernie. But Bernie was not an effective congressman, nor even a senator. And that's all I'm saying. I rest my case on that. But I feel like I'm living in the twilight zone. And Vincent, I will not survive this. I feel like I won't. I feel like I want to punch every older white man in their face. I feel like kicking the black people in their teeth. In terms of abortion, I didn't have a baby, and I never got pregnant, God willing. But do I want to have a baby right now? No. I'd rather wait till I get married. And Planned Parenthood just don't deal with abortions. Their number one thing is HIV and AIDS prevention and cancer screenings. Because my mother got her breast examined at Planned Parenthood not too far from her job. And actually, white women actually get more abortions because they're the ones that have promiscuous sex more than black and Latino women. Black and Latino women are actually more wholesome than most white women. And not saying most white women are promiscuous, but there are white women that are promiscuous, and most of them come from Republican homes. There's a Planned Parenthood that's actually downtown in New York in the 30s that is not a black neighborhood. So yeah. And there's really no Planned Parenthood clinics in my mom's neighborhood because she lives in a black neighborhood. My mother and my father. They're mostly downtown in New York City. Yeah, Elizabeth, no lies detected. This is truth. I applied to work for Planned Parenthood for their offices as a development associate like years ago. So that's how I researched this information. That's how I knew this shit. So yeah, but I'm so sick of them. I'm sick and tired, sick and fucking tired. But as I end this, and I'm going off, I've been on here since like after 11:30. Just do whatever you can to stay abreast on politics. You don't have to watch the news all day, but just watch 10, 15 minutes. You will learn something. And do your research on people. Go to JoeBiden.com. Joe Biden got a robust plan to combat COVID-19. Oh, wow. That's crazy. But yeah, just be a brace. That's all. But until then, have a good night.